The determiner field that has the trait of the pronoun indicates the object specified by the determiner field and signifies that the number of the object is countable but thin. The description by the determiner for a subject or an object can be applied as a pronoun. That is one of the indications. There is a clause, I read few magazines. The suffix s is applied to reveal that the object indicated by the general noun are plural, and the description by the determiner field reveals that the number of the object indicated by the general noun magazines is thin. The number of the object indicated by the general noun magazines is specified as plural but thin with the description of the determiner field. The determiner field reveals the premise about the numerical standard of the speaker, that the number of the objects indicated by the general noun magazines is thin. So we can think of this question. There is a cup and a half of the cup is filled with water. Someone can think that the amount of water is much. Others can think that the amount of water is little. This can be the subjective perspective for the speaker to see the same subject. The definition of the determiner field reveals that the speaker has the subjective perspective to see the number of the object indicated by the general noun magazines is thin. The object exists, but not so many. The speaker can apply the predeterminer "a" ahead of the determiner field so that the combination of the predeterminer, the indefinite article, and the determiner field can be applied as an indication. The determiner field to specify the thin number of the objects indicated by a general noun forms a phrase of the general noun. So the combination of the predeterminer, the indefinite article, and the determiner field can be applied as a pronoun. And this description is about understanding the phrase of the general noun messages whose groups are plural. There are groups of messages, and each group include few messages like 2 or 3 messages. The speaker might want to indicate a group. From interpreting the combination of the determiner few and the general noun messages at first, and the speaker applies the predeterminer O for the phrase of the general noun few messages that are fused into a new indication that can be replaced by the noun group. And each group includes few messages. The strategy to set a variable in a formula that we apply when we study mathematics can be applied in this understanding. So we can think that the application of the predeterminer O as the determiner for the phrase of the general noun few messages can reveal the positive perspective of the speaker to see that the number of the object indicated by the general noun messages with the description by the determiner O, the selections of the object indicated by the phrase of the general noun to include the determiner few are revealed to be plural. This description reveals that the group of messages whose number included in the group is little, like 2 or 3. Let's suppose the number 2 or 3. Group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and etc. And we can think of one of the group that can be indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages. In the group, there are some messages, 2 or 3 messages are included, and this group is one of the groups that can be described by the phrase of the general noun few messages. The number of the groups is plural, and the speaker can indicate one of the groups with the application of the determiner O. So the listeners can understand the number of the messages is plural in each group, and in each group the number of the messages is 2 or 3. So we can say that the speaker admits the existence of the messages whose number is few. There is a clause, I get a few messages. The number of the objects indicated by the general noun messages are specified as plural, but then with the description by the determiner few. Firstly, the object indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages are specified into one of the objects more than 2 with the description by the predeterminer O. The number of the objects indicated by the general noun message is plural but thin, and the number of the objects indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages is plural. By the specification by the predeterminer or the listeners get to know the perspective of the speaker who considers the existence of the object indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages positive.